What's going on? Happy Tuesday. It's been a weird night, but we'll get through it. There's always something, huh? There's always something. Okay, let's go through some charts. We'll go through some dealer exposure. We'll figure out what we want to do. I'll see if I can get my account back. No guarantees. But in the meantime, I'll use my alternative account just to see where we end up. But let's go through my favorite ticker of the last, I want to say like 2 weeks at this point in time. I kind of hope they sell it off, honestly. Like, I'd be psyched if they sell off Micron, because then I can get cheaper calls, both for weeklies and maybe end of year calls for like the 1500 strike is really what I like. You should hear me, no? Testing, yeah. You should be good to go. Perfect, okay, yeah. Let's check your Discord settings. Sometimes they're just kooky like that, but it is chaos. Discord is a weird little platform. I hope to get their shit together, but it is what it is. Micron, I really hope they sell it off, honestly. If it comes down to 746, that's my ideal call entry. I don't know if we'll get there, because I think it'll tap out of this displacement here at 755, and it kind of retraces back up towards 800. I did see a lot of, or not a lot, but a sufficient amount of dealer exposure for the 800 strike for weeklies. So I kind of hope they sell it off, come back into the middle of this displacement, undercut them a little bit, and then kind of go up from there. So that would be ideal, because then I can get very cheap call entries, or relatively cheap call entries. Whether that happens or not, I don't know, but I do like how that is setting up as a whole. SNDK, there's been some strikes and upheaval in South Korea, so I think they're selling off a lot of the semiconductor names and memory names. We'll see what happens on this, but I do like how this is setting up as well. Nice head and shoulder, nice double top, rejection, come back down, probably taps at around 1402 area. Maybe do a little undercut towards 1400, do a nice little bear trap, and then kind of grind back up towards 1600 is kind of the goal. But I do think that most of the institutions will buy the dip here rather than selling it off. But if they sell it off, they sell it off. And you can get the SOXS calls instead for next week, because this is a nice cup and handle forming here on the 15-minute, on the daily, and the 4-hour as well. So if you are taking any of the semiconductor or memory and storage name calls, do hedge them with a call option for the short ETF on semiconductors for next week, because I think it'll do pretty well, or if it decides to sell off entirely. And for next week, I'll be looking at the $10 strike effectively is kind of the name of the game there. So that's really what I'm looking at on semiconductors as a whole. AMD, I think they started to sell off yesterday. I was saying this in the SPX channel, like they were just trying to get out of every single name that they kind of bought over the last couple of weeks. So I'm not overly bearish on AMD, but I do think you're going to test 415 maybe before you kind of decide to go back up. Ideally, they can take the scalp while they're at it, do the nice undercut here before going higher. Or if it continues selling off, then I think your line in the sand is 351. Whether we get there by Friday or not, I don't know. But I am pretty optimistic still on the upside, because it's still the buy the dip model that the algorithms are kind of trading. NVIDIA, literally the same story. Tesla, I think it's literally the same story. 450 is a call wall. We never got there. We almost got there yesterday, but we just tapped out right below that. This is still setting up higher highs and higher lows, so I do think that there's a chance that we kind of do an undercut, come back towards 431. If we don't, then it's just going to tap out here at 437. and then continues grinding higher towards 459. Close above that, you're going towards 470, 490 pretty easily. So I do like how this is setting up. I might take some June calls for the 500 strike or the 490 strike, but I'm just going to wait and be patient for an entry because I don't really need to rush into anything. You should be pretty green from the day that we had yesterday across Tesla, which I think Sean shared, and then the SPX plays that I shared, which ended up becoming pretty nice. So that's what I'm looking at there. Let's go through SPY. I think they sell it off a little bit at open. It's rejecting from the 437 area. Probably does a double tap, maybe an undercut at 737, 736, and then decides to go higher. So again, buy the dip kind of model. The only time I would start to look at puts if we close below 736.36 on SPY. In that case, your target is really 733. And below that, you're going to go towards like 729 pretty fast. So this could also happen where it just like grinds down, maybe do an uppercut and then kind of grinds down towards 729. But again, I do think they'll do an undercut here if it doesn't just pump right off the open and then decide to go up towards 740, the call. That's the call wall. We never really closed above it yesterday, so I don't think we have enough liquidity to go up there, or maybe there's a macro event that people are waiting for, people being market makers. So we'll see where that ends up. But, you know, my bias has not changed from being bullish because this is a nice holding pattern. The only time I would get puts is if we close below that. And that goes for SPX as well. I'll be looking at SPY throughout the day to see if we close below this. If not, then I'm just going to buy the dip and get towards 740 call wall. And above this, if it closes above it, I don't think it will. But if it does, you're likely going to go towards 745, which is the weekly target that I have on SPY. Microsoft looks pretty good. All the IGV names are frankly catching up. It's a nice cup and handle. We'll see where that goes. Oracle, nice cup and handle, the same story. This is a bit more, I don't know, this is a lot of accumulation that has happened over the last couple of days. So I do think it'll reject, come back down to this displacement, and then kind of go up towards the 200 area for maybe end of this week if we get lucky. If not, then at least like 2 weeks out is kind of the draw for me there on Oracle. Microsoft, and I think I posted this yesterday, but the 410 calls look pretty good to me. They're already in the money, so the next target here is 420. And I don't know if we get there in the next day or two, but it is looking pretty good for a breakout above 415.50. Above this, I think it's going to fly if I just draw a little line there at 415.50. Above this, you're going to likely go test this pocket of liquidity up at 425. So that's really where my mind is. I think it's going to carve out a higher high, higher low. And we'll see. I've had a long night. I was setting up another Discord just in case this account gets banned, or like, I don't know what happens to George, but I was setting up a new Discord. So I was like up to like 3 a.m. talking to Fighter, of all people, trying to get this up and running. So that's Microsoft, Oracle, SPY. We went over Micron. Nokia's catching some weird bids. I think they just announced some AI deal or something like that. So nice displacement, held this area, likely go towards 14.20. And I do think the $20 strike for 2027 probably hits. I wouldn't chase anything, but you know, it is looking like it's a nice cup and handle forming towards going up and setting up a higher high, higher low. We'll go through QQQ. This has more implied volatility today for whatever reason. I think you're looking at a $10 range, whether we get that today or not, I don't know. But again, I'd be only bearish if we close below 707.65 on QQQ. And then you're likely going to tag this gap here and then undercut before deciding to go higher or lower. That's what I'm looking at there. IWM, I don't know what is going on here. This looks worse than every other ticker, any other index that I've seen. Head and shoulder here as well. And this is now like a double head and shoulder. You got left shoulder, big head, right shoulder, come back down. If this holds 283, you can get calls. If it doesn't, then I think you want to short the hell out of this until we get down to 279, maybe 277 if we get there. I don't think we will, to be honest, because a lot of the market makers are out of position for a lot of these indexes, ETFs, whatever, stocks like Micron, SNDK, whatever. But I do want to set up a position for Micron 800C, maybe the 820 calls for Friday. And maybe I'll do that Thursday. Maybe I'll take a starter today and just add to it on Thursday. And again, I'm only looking at getting puts here if we close below 746, because then you're likely going to go down towards 656 is the target that I got on the downside. I don't think we get there again. I do think this area will hold. If not here, then it just kind of grinds up from there. So that's what I got on that front. Let's go through some dealer exposure, see what people are doing. Good support at 73.75, 7,500. It's been lit up all week, so maybe we got there on Friday. I have no clue. And they were pretty inexpensive yesterday. I think they were like $800, and I think at the peak I saw them at like 1,300 or whatever. So I don't think I want to set up a position for these just yet, but let's just watch it. I did see 73.15 for tomorrow being lit up on the broker that I use, but not a lot of volume on those. So it might be just a little hedge that they're taking. So let's go see what the first 15 minutes look like. Again, I do think they're going to sell it off. Maybe bottom out here, if not above, and then kind of go up. He's looking at puts. He might be right, but I don't want to rush into anything. Let's just give it some time, see if we can catch a bottom or a top, and then we'll kind of play the opposing side, if that makes sense to people, which I think it should. Let's see if the 7400 strike gets bids. If it does, then I think we're going to be good to go on the calls. And this is a nice displacement. This is also an order block I found out when I was looking at the chart yesterday. I was like, oh, there's an order block here that's formed. So you're likely to go up. I don't see much downside, to be honest, but I've been wrong before. So let's see if it bottoms out. If it does, I'll get some calls. If it doesn't, we'll get some puts. And not a lot of volume on Micron today. I think everyone's waiting for the South Korean news. Whatever happens in China, there's your undercut on Nokia. And then we'll see where this wants to go. So I'm just going to watch until it's 9:45. Then I'll take one play as a starter. And then I'll see where I want that to end up. But I do like the 7400 strike. Maybe even the 7410s at 500, 480 bucks is pretty good. But not a lot of volume, so I'm kind of worried about that. One thing I do want to show you guys, because I've been building this overnight, is I've been building like how dealers are positioned and trying to see like exactly where they're going to bounce, where their support is, where the resistance is. There's a lot of sell orders at 752. And I do think you're going to hold this area pretty nicely before you go up. So let's see what happens there. But we'll give it some time before we decide to take a play. It's going to bottom out eventually. If it doesn't, we'll get some puts. A lot of volume. 1 million shares, 2 million shares being traded. It's not really that much. Oh yeah, Google's about to fly. I'm pretty sure. Google's going to go. Microsoft's going to go. Broadcom's going to go probably. But let's give it some time. I kind of like this at 700. Maybe it's just me. If it comes back down, I'll get that filled. I'll take a starter, and then I'll see where that goes through the day. They might just start buying the hell out of this. You just saw the premiums increase like crazy. Yes, sell off Micron so I can get cheaper calls. Please do it. Please. We can watch ES. It's probably a good call. I really don't think you're breaking 7,400, to be honest. Like, this is a nice order block. You're bouncing from this displacement, maybe a double tap and then go up. But I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about this too deeply from the bull side. NVIDIA. Let's go see what's happening on NVIDIA. Oh, damn. Well, it's hard to be bearish if NVIDIA is catching bids. AMD should be flying as well. There it is. What's the other one that I look at that's done pretty well? Not AMD, NVIDIA. My brain's like pooping out. Well, Google's catching bids. I already know because I saw the dealer exposure there. Double tap and go probably. Microsoft's probably dumping right now, and then it'll eventually start pumping. Oh, nice rejection on 415. Okay. This might be a good call entry. Oh, silver is the other one I want to look at. I do like how this is setting up. It's a nice cup and handle. I might add to the 80 calls that I have for tomorrow, but I'm going to give it some time before I do that. And the put premiums are dropping. Okay. They might just pump without us. I was trying to get these at 7. Maybe the 7405s at 6 might be a good risk and reward. We'll just see. We'll wait. Oh, it filled. Nice. I don't know. This looks pretty bullish to me. I'll get rid of this drawing because I don't really need it. I don't even think I'm logged in. Let's see if they do the undercut. If it doesn't hold, then I'll get some puts and cut these calls. But I'm just watching right now. Meanwhile, what I'll do, since we're waiting, is just see if they're starting to buy the 7370s or if they're going to sell these. Yeah, Palantir looks good too. I was looking at the dealer exposure for this like earlier. It looks like it's gonna. There's a lot of accumulation too. So above 136.92, I'll get some calls, but below that, I have zero interest. I'd rather be right and pay a premium for it than wrong and kind of dump it. Not a lot of volume though, so that's the thing that's worrying me right now. 7350, wow. 5.3 bill. That could be the floor though. Bullish SPX, bearish NDX. Okay, well, just gotta wait. Oh, also today, just take quick wins. I think it's going to be a lot of chop fest because the market is waiting on whatever happens in China with Trump. So just be on your toes. Could go either way. One hedge I do like for tomorrow is the 7315s because I saw a lot of bids on those this morning. Oh, Sprint is talking? I didn't even hear her. 1 sec. Gotta find where she is. Muted. Hopefully that worked. I don't know. I agree. Free Princess. Until I see a close below on the 15 or even like an undercut, then I won't sell these calls because I do think they'll buy it. That's just where my mind's going. Oh, they're back to break even. Okay, cool. Wow, the slap volume on the 7400s right there. 10 bill. Went from like 4 to 10. Hey, calls are green. Nice. I should have just got a discount. Usually what happens... Oh, this is the thing I want to tell you guys. What happens usually if I just have really good entries, no one will be able to get in. And so I'm trying to set up a position that I can add to if it goes on like a 20, 30% discount. What you could do in the future is just whatever I'm calling out, just apply a 30% discount by default and just get that. Yeah, Quantum's going to run. I think I was telling the chat like a week or two ago that Quantum leaps on IonQ or whatever that ticker's called. Look pretty good. Yeah, Hawkeye did post that as well. I agree. I really hope they don't chop us up in the first 50-minute candle because that would be trash. Let's see what ES does here. It's going to lead one way or another. One stock I really like is AMSC. I'm going to get a lot of commons right now. This looks pretty good. I basically sold all my ASDS shares and I want to use them to pay for AMSC. I think I had like 100 shares or something on ASDS. It's been a dumpster fire. I don't know what the hell they're doing. So yesterday I just sold it. Probably sold it at a loss, but whatever. Rocket Lab looks good. If anyone wants to take the 110 weekly, or this already in the money, never mind. But I did see a lot of good exposure on the 120 weeklies on Rocket Lab. Nice green on SPX. Held that displacement go up. I should have just waited. I don't know what I was doing watching SPY, but whatever. We'll wait. Calls are going green. You're up like 10, 20%. Just take the win whenever that happens. Get 10% on calls. If you want to take the win, take the win. Or if you had a better entry than I did, go for it. 10% calls. Oh, 20% calls. Nice. Nice. Yeah, let them pump Tesla. We'll be all right. Sorry, my internet's being weird. Don't know why. So we'll give it some time to reset or whatever it wants to do. Since you're green, just take the win. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to hold these. In hindsight, I should have added more when they were discounted by 30%. Apple, let me go look at the chart. One sec. Ooh. Let it pump out. If it pumps above 294, yes, you can target 296 pretty easily. 300 calls for end of... I'd maybe roll them if I were you to like the end of May. That's a bit of a slow mover. But if it pumps out of this double, triple top almost, you should be good. But if you're green on those, just take the win. I kind of want to add more 7400s. I kind of got the confirmation that I need on the upside, so should be good. It's 1050C. What the hell? Okay, I guess that makes sense. You're up 25% on the calls. Just honestly take the win. I'm going to go make a coffee. If it happens, it happens. See you all in a bit.